everybody? Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host, Chantele Francis, with my amazing co-host, Miss TJoy, here to talk about the finale, part 1 of The Bachelorette, season 19, episode 11-ish. How are you doing, Miss TJoy? And how did you feel about part 1 of the season finale?
Part 1 was painful to watch. I wanted to be over. I didn't want a part 1. I wanted it to be wrapped up in this episode, and it was not. Because, of course, they have to drag it out one more week because they couldn't have a gap in between Bachelorette and Bachelor in Paradise. They were like, no, let's drag it out one more week. So that's what they did.
What I don't understand is why don't they just let us miss them a little bit? Like, I remember the season when it was like, first it was Claire and Tayshia, and then it was Matt James, then it was Katie, then it was Michelle. Like, it's just like back to, and then Bachelor in Paradise is in there. Like, let us miss you guys. So I'm like excited for the new season.
I know.
I am not excited for Paradise because like I'm just watching these people right now and like I haven't had a chance to miss them yet.
Exactly.
It's so frustrating that like they just want to cram in episode after episode. And this may be against popular belief, but I didn't find this entertaining. I didn't find this type of drama to be entertaining because I'm not connected to these stories, these love stories. And I'm not sure what the issue is with me not like connecting to Gabby or Rachel being upset about these situations. Yeah. And I keep on comparing it to Timmy and Zeta from Love Island. Now, they have about the same amount of time together. So about 3 weeks. They do have more, I'd say, quality time together on Love Island. But like if like these same scenarios were happening between them, I would be bawling my eyes out if like Zeta thought that Timmy was going to propose and then he said he wasn't. Like I probably would be really upset. Right. And I'm not with these two. I'm just not. And I don't know if it's because they're always crying. Like, I'm not sure what it is. Hi, Dabu.
Hi, Dabu. I think for one, it is because they're always crying. That is the thing. But then also because you can tell that it's about an image. They prioritize being engaged over being happy.
Or being in love. Actually being in love.
It's like, if this is the person that you really want, this is the person you saw yourself with, why is it a no-go just because, not that he doesn't see himself with you, but just because in 2 days he doesn't want to propose? Why then, I'm just like, sick of it. And like, I'm just sick of it. It's like they have to have the fairy tale, and if it's not the fairy tale, I don't want it.
And that's icky to me because like, to me, it would, if I were one of the guys, I'd be like, oh, wait, she doesn't really want to be with me. She only wants me because I'm going to propose to her. And I think that that's what happened with Zach. Zach was like being hammered about having to propose. And are you ready to propose? You have to propose. You better propose. And it's like, wait, what happened to our love story and us falling in love together? Like that completely got pushed to the side and it became all about, are you going to propose? And he didn't like being hammered by this woman. Like, where's the love? Where's the me? Where's the us?
Right.
Where's our future together?
Exactly.
Like, they're playing it all wrong, in my opinion. Dabu says, rumor of your guy Ben Smith as the next Bachelor, which they announced next week. Dabu? Ben? I don't think I'll cover it.
Ben.
He was on whose season was it?
I know the name.
He like, okay, spoiler, not spoiler. Oh my god. Trigger warning. On his one-on-one date, he talked about how he had, I don't know if he attempted or had suicidal thoughts. He's blonde, he has like blue eyes. His Antonia, if you know her from like Top Chef, She was
Yes.
one of his guests, like one of his like people at his hometown.
His cousin.
I don't know if they're
Yes.
related. No, he trained her. He trained her, I think, in the gym.
Oh.
Let me just find him.
I
See,
know.
I'm not
I
interested
can
in him.
see all of that and what you're saying. I can see all of it and what you're saying. Oh,
Do you
okay.
remember what he looks like?
No.
Oh, I'll show
Does he
you.
have black hair?
No, blonde blue eyes.
Wow.
He is not my cup of tea. I don't think I'll watch that. I do not. The type of woman that I think that he'd be interested in is not my type of couple. Hold on, get out of here, ad. So do you remember him?
Yeah, I remember him. He's not that. I don't.
He's not my type of guy at all. I forgot whose season he was on. Taboo. Which season was he on? Whose was it?
Katie, was that Katie?
No, it was before Katie, I think. It might have. Was it Heather? Or not Heather. Hannah. I don't know. That engagement ring doesn't mean shit if you break up months later. Feel free to ask Michelle, Katie, Tasha, Claire, Hannah B, and Peter about it. Exactly, Taboo. Exactly. And like, as much as I don't necessarily care for them, but like Matt James did not propose to Miss Rachel Kirkconnell, and they have been together for this entire time. So I think they've hit a year now. Like, that says something. Also, if you look at another successful couple look at Thomas and Becca on Bachelorette. And they left separate. He was in tears. She didn't want an engagement from him. And then they got back together after the show. And then he got to propose to her, or she got to propose to him in a way that she thought that would be best for their relationship, you know? And they seem to be happier than ever.
They seem to be very happy. They seem to be very happy.
Exactly. So the fact that they just want this engagement, it's like, I think that they are self-sabotaging what they have for what they think that they want, and what they want, what that's going to bring to them. So it could be the esteem. It could be like, oh, I am engaged. Oh my God, they do love me. It's like a symbol of so much.
Yes.
They have so much weight riding on this engagement that as soon as they don't get this, or maybe they think that they're not going to get it, they completely fall apart because this engagement means something that's not true. It means to them that they're lovable. It means to them that they're being picked, they're being chosen.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's like, how about the fact that he's telling you, I want to be with you. I don't want to be with anybody else, but I want to do the engagement my own way.
His own way. And you know you like him. You know how strong your feelings are. You see how well he gets along with your family. You know that you could be happy with this man. You know how you felt the morning after that overnight. Okay. So you know how it is. Just be happy. Fly around the world, travel, be happy, do interviews. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Be passionate with each other. And you never know. In like 4 months, by the time this aired, you could have came back to the stage and been engaged. The man didn't say it wasn't going to happen. In fact, he said it is. It is, just not in 2 days. And I'm like, I'm done with her. I'm done with her. She can cry all she wants. She can cry all she wants. I don't feel sorry for her. I mean, because I was trying. I felt like such empathy for her and compassion. But at this point, I'm done, because you have now shown me it's not the happiness and the love that you want. It is the fairy tale and the status and the symbol. That's what you want.
She just wants to be like,
I'm engaged.
I mean, that's fun. That's fun. But you know what I think is more fun? Is when they surprise you. Like, I know some people don't want the big gestures, and like, that's, you know, but like, knowing that my person decided to plan something out to make me feel special in a moment where they want to let me know that I'm the only person for them, I would be like, Okay, I'll trade it. I don't need the ring right now. I would love for you to surprise me.
Yes, yes, me
Right?
too. Me
Knowing that they're
too.
planning it, having the photographer hiding in the bushes, like
Yes,
where is that moment? Like, wouldn't you rather on the jumbotron when you're at like
yes. A
at a freaking
game,
game? Like,
a movie theater, and all of a sudden you look around, it's all your friends and family. Like, I mean, come on, come on.
I
I'm
almost
done.
would be like
I'm
mad
done.
if they wasted my only engagement, my first engagement on the show. I'd be like, if I'm gonna get engaged, I don't necessarily like the attention in that way all on me. I'd be very embarrassed, but I think I need to have it in that, like for that.
Yeah,
The one time I think
yeah.
that I just like I would love to be
One time.
surprised and have a grand gesture like that.
I'm done with her. I'm
Uh,
done. I'm done with it.
oh, Taysha. Yeah, now I remember Ben and Taysha together. Yes, you're right, Taboo.
Yeah.
So Ben was on Taysha's season, couldn't tell her he loved her when she broke up with them. He came back and said, I love you. Right. I was not a fan of him. I mean, I wasn't a fan of any of Taysha's guys, really. So I wasn't a fan of Ben. I wasn't a fan of, who did she date? Zach.
She ended up with that.
Wasn't a fan of, obviously, what's the guy? Canadian. Blake. I wasn't a fan of I only like Brendan, but like everybody hates Brendan now. And I also don't think that what Brendan did was that bad with Piper. I'm just like, yeah, I'm so annoyed. How'd you feel about
I
that?
thought him and
Actually?
Tayshia had a lot of chemistry though at the time.
Oh, I loved Brendan and Tayshia together.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't ready for that with her. And
No. And
I mean, I
Zach
think that
obviously
Tayshia might
wasn't.
not be the nicest, like the most warm and loving person. Like, yes, she's giggly and she presents very well, but I think she might be a little bit more like behind closed door. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
I still don't know what happened with her and Zach. They are both, one thing I can say, they both have been tight-lipped about it. You know how some people do interviews and do a lot of stuff, like Nate even doing interviews. Nobody asked him to do that. Anyways, he has been very tight-lipped. He has not said not one thing. And I'm impressed by that. I mean, because we do
He's
not
older
know what
though.
happened.
He's like what, 37, 38? So
Yeah, we don't know what happened. But it's just a lot of changes. And then that's the other thing. I can see for somebody who is thinking about the situation, like, yes, I want to be with you. I know that I want to be with you, but let us get out of this situation because there's about to be a lot of changes. So one of us is gonna have to move. You know, let's work these things out. You know what I mean? Like let's work these logistics out. You know, and get our bearings straight, and then let me, do it. Because I think with him and Zach and Tasha, that was another thing. They both like moved to New York. Like neither one of them were from New York, right? And then they just up and moved to New York, and then she was getting a job with ABC and doing the Bachelorette and stuff, and trying to get into hosting and stuff, and then he was trying to do his thing, and then I just think there was a lot going on.
I think that he didn't like being in the spotlight and she wants to use all of her opportunities that she is having. And I don't think that he wanted to be the side piece there. I think that he just, it wasn't, they weren't compatible in that way in what they wanted for their future, I think. But I have no idea really. So Dabu, yes, agreed. I mean, I'm not a fan of Clayton and Susie, but they did not have a ring and they still seem to be going strong. Noah and Abigail, when they left Paradise, I definitely was like, I didn't think that they were going to get back together at all, but they did, and they seem to be going strong as well. Strong enough for them to be going on Dear Shandy with Charlene and Andy. And so that's talking about them as like in a couple and love relationships and how they're doing as a couple. Kevin and Astrid, like Astrid moved to damn Canada. Like she lives in my city right now. They have a baby together. I mean, I think they're engaged now, but they didn't remember there was the big whole thing was that Kevin wasn't ready to get engaged in that moment, and she had a little bit of a tailspin, and then she realized like, hey, I still want to be with this person. Like, why am I waiting for using the construct of this show to break us up?
Right.
Like it's not normal to get engaged in 5 weeks to somebody that you've had 3 dates with. I get it. It's possible. It could work, but it being
Mm-hmm.
the standard, people need to take that off the market, I think. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
exactly, Hannah and Dylan. Well, I still think that I don't know. I never really thought that she actually liked Dylan, but like kind of was like worn down. But now they've been together forever, and it seems like, and I always knew that he was really into her. And they're engaged now. So, yep. No ring, but all still together. Ain't that the point? Yes, that is the point, in my opinion, Dabu.
Yeah.
Creating
Now
relationships, not engagements.
let's think about the people who got engaged for Bachelor in Paradise last year. It was Riley
Marissa,
and,
done.
Marissa Dunn, Grocery Store Joe, and
I think they will get it to the altar.
they're still together. And then who was the other couple? Because it was 3 couples,
Mari,
right?
Mari and Kenny.
Are they still together?
Hmm.
Okay.
I mean, but at Paradise, though, you do see these people all day long, and so like they have opportunities to connect, I think, a little bit better than
I
on the
agree.
actual show, where they're separated from the lead, and then they don't get a date for 2 weeks, and like then
Right.
it's just like
Right.
they need to change the structure if they want. It can create more engagements.
I agree.
All
I
right, so
agree.
let's talk about this damn episode.
Okay. Okay.
So it starts with them all on the stage. Before, what we saw the stage was Jesse. It looked like an apocalypse had happened and the zombies had come. But now the stage was completely normal, and the two girls are sitting on the stage. I thought they looked okay. I've seen them both.
Gabby looked nice. I thought Gabby
I
looked
didn't like her.
nice.
I didn't like her hair, but they did that to Sarah
Oh,
Hyland as well, and I didn't really enjoy it personally.
uh-huh.
I
I
don't.
thought
They
it
just
was something different. Like I like the big girls like that sometimes, every now and then, to give the volume of the big hair. I like it.
Fair. You can like what you like. I didn't particularly like it for Gabby. I kind of like I usually like other styles on Gabby more. I think that she looks prettier, in my opinion. But I thought her dress was really cute, and
Mhm.
I think because I'm so turned off by Rachel this season that I almost don't see her as pretty anymore. Yeah, like she is. Obviously, she's gorgeous. Like I'm just saying, like there's something about I'm just like, I don't know if you're pretty anymore to me. Like it just seeing your true colors these last few weeks. I'm just kind of like just turned me off of her a little bit, unfortunately.
I understand. I understand.
Okay, Debbie says, by the way, any day now, I'm expecting Kenny and Mari to break up. You think? I don't know. They seem to want to stay together though, so I don't know. Okay, they did seem positive about their season. What did you think about their reaction to being like, "You're here, like you're talking to watch that we're gonna watch the finale together"? Like, what signs and signals did you get from them?
They did not want to be there. They did not want to be there, especially Rachel. She did not want to be there. She was trying to fake a smile the whole time. And I think that she knows that we're going to see the demise of her whole situation. And that at the end, she's not going to end up with nobody. And she is just not thrilled about reliving it and seeing it. And I
Hmm.
think Gabby was all cheesing. And I don't know if it's because, hers ended up good and now she's going to be on Dancing with the Stars. So her life is great. But I think Rachel, I just could tell that it just has not worked out the way she wanted it to work. And so she looked like it was painful. She did not want to be there.
Yeah, Gabby did get the Dance with the Stars glow up. I could tell by the way she was sitting. So, and the dress that she was wearing was a very Dancing with the Stars esque
Right.
dress. Um,
Uh-huh.
so whatever. I didn't like her hair, but I thought the rest of her definitely looked like a glow up for Dancing with the Stars. And I know she's a dancer, but just like how she had her feet kind of
Uh-huh.
like crossed and pointed, I thought that was because she's been training. She's already
Right.
started training. So, and I think she has this one of the best dance partners. Val is so good.
Val is everything. Uh-huh.
Val is so good. Obviously, Max is so good. I'm shocked that Mark is back. He's also really good.
Yeah.
Um, he, what's his name? What's Blondie's name? Juliana Huff, Derek. He's not. I don't think
Derek
he's.
is back.
I don't think he's on this season, but like
Oh,
he's other person that like he creates winners. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
I couldn't
Gabby.
believe Mark came back. I couldn't believe Mark came back. I'm
Must
like,
be
he
a
might need some money.
good
I don't
paycheck.
know.
Yeah.
Because it was like him and Derek, they used to just compete and they were the ones that created winners and then they were just so much above it now. You know what I'm saying? And to see him back, I'm like, oh, the pandemic. Times
Well, even when Cheryl came back, because Cheryl is also, I think, really, she creates winners as well. Cheryl creates winners. Who else creates winners? Obviously, Julianne. I don't know if Juliana actually creates that many winners, but she's also, I think, a really good partner. Anyways, we're not talking about Dancing with the Stars.
Okay.
We're just trying to avoid this Tams episode.
I know. That's how you know it's bad, that we get distracted by anything else that brings us joy. Like, ooh, let's talk about this because it was painful to watch, people. It was painful, but we are dedicated. Do you hear me? You should be grateful that you have two dedicated people that have said, you know what, we started it and we're gonna finish it. My God, we're gonna finish it. Because if it wasn't for dedication, we would be done.
I don't even know if I'd watch it. I might watch other recaps, but I don't know if I'd watch the episode. I'm not even joking. I might watch, like, I still watch Dear Shandy, and so I'd probably watch the Dear Shandy recap, and then like, because you'd hear everything that happened, and that would be enough for me to get a taste of it, because then you'd still get like the sarcastic responses, and like I'll need that. So we're back to the rose ceremony where Zach asked to speak to Rachel. And you see the fear in Rachel's eyes about what's going to go down and the anger that's starting to flash before her eyes. And, I think what he was saying was valid. Like, we are not enjoying this I need to get engaged, Rachel. So I can understand being in a relationship with her, not wanting to be with this version of her. Like, it's kind of like women.
It's almost like, sorry to cut you off, but it's almost like with watching Rachel, it's almost like, you know how on Big Brother, it's like people get in there and they're super fans of the show. And so they have this thing where they feel like they know all the games that are coming in the order that they're coming and what you should do and all of this stuff. And sometimes it messes up their game because they're not living in the moment. They're going by, what they have seen. And it's almost like she was a super fan of this show, right? And now she is on it. And she doesn't like that things are not going the way that when she watched the seasons, how they went. And so she doesn't like it. She doesn't like it if you're trying to cut her off before she cuts you off. She doesn't like it if you're not trying to get engaged. She doesn't like it if you're not doing this on this date. If you're not doing, because in her mind, she has watched 20 some seasons and this is how it's supposed to go. And this is what the people do. And you're not allowing me to do it. And it's not going how I want. And I don't like it. And I'm going to cry. And it is annoying me. Because if you already felt the way you felt about him, why are you mad that he's telling you he want to go? Now he attacking your character. You know what I mean? He's not attacking your character. Like,
uh-oh. Matthew's here. Matthew has a comment. What does Matthew have to say? So frustrated with this finale. Why are they showing Gabby and Rachel's live reaction to everything happening? You could see the anger, sadness on their faces every time Ivan was on the screen.
Avon.
Oh, Avon. I'm like, who's Avon? Ivan was on the screen, and when Tina was on the I thought Tina was on the stream. They would show Rachel blushing and talking about how cute it was that he was nervous. Yeah, like Matthew, this was a terrible finale.
Terrible.
And just to echo what you were saying, it's like if she just followed her heart,
thank you,
she would get the engagement. She's following the wrong thing. She's chasing the wrong thing. If you chase, you repel the other people. We know that even in relationships in general, like if you chase one person, they're going to recoil. Like they're just like, I don't want that. Like I don't want to feel that. And so her desperation around this engagement is actually pushing everybody away. And
it is.
And she needs to kind of realize that this is all her fault. Like, it's all her.
Exactly.
If she was just
Exactly.
normal, she would have 3 men there that would want to potentially
Thank
be
you.
proposing to her. But like
Thank
now
you.
they're just like, ugh, I don't know if I want to do that. Ugh, I don't know.
It's crazy.
Sorry
It's
about the
crazy.
names. It's all right, Matthew. I just didn't know who you're talking about. Aven. Aven, if I'm not mistaken. So
Mhm.
she said that she was trying to find the missing piece during their breakup or what their overnight in the fantasy suites. And I'm like, you're trying to find the missing piece? No, you were hammering to him that he had to propose to you, even though you knew that you weren't that into him. But you just want to have all the men at the end proposing to you so you could choose and you could be chosen by everybody. And
Mhm.
that is the wrong objective. She has the
Mhm.
wrong objective here. So she does walk him to his car, and we see Tino and Aven kind of talking about it. And he's like, oh, like Tito was like, oh, I think she's walking him out. She's walking him out. She's walking him out. So she comes back, and with her passive aggressive self, she decides to be like, he's attacking my character, and like, I don't want to have anything to do with that, whatever. And so then she continues on with the rose ceremony. I'm just like, all right, red flag number 1. Like, all she does is a red flag to me. If I was a guy, I'd be like, run, run, run. And you know what? Like, she's brave, because Tino's not the type of guy that's going to stick around for a lot of this bullshit. Like, he's just not. And Aven is the
But
type of guy.
Tino is going to give her proposal, and that's what she cares about.
Mhm.
And that's what she cares about. And be careful, because when you chase something, once you get it, the thrill is gone. That's why you don't chase. That's why you don't chase.
Yes, you're
Because
trapped.
you gonna get what you're chasing now, but then what you gonna do with it? It's not gonna be good from the previews. It's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be
Not
good.
at all. But Rachel's disappointed in Zach. But like, I wouldn't be telling these 2 guys that you're disappointed. Like, it's just, I don't know.
Let me ask you this: if she felt, let me ask you, if she felt like Zach was ready to propose, right? If he told her, "Hey, I'm ready to propose. I know I want to be with you," blah 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 blah. Do you think she would have been so gun ho about Aven? Or do you think, because she liked the idea of what
Family.
Zach's family had? You could see her eyes got big with that. Like, oh, they live in this nice big house. He's related to a celebrity. Like, I could get used to this. Like, if he was ready to propose, do you think she still would have had all of that energy towards Aven? Because I promise you, it was like all of a sudden this episode, she's so in love with him. I just was so confused. She was happier about him than she was Tino. And I was very confused. I was like, well, where did this come from? I mean, not that she didn't like Aven, but I just felt like this episode, it was just like he was the sun rising and setting. And I was like, when did okay. All right,
Well,
okay.
I think this is what happened. Actually, should I talk about it now? Yeah, we can talk about it now. So what I think happened is that on the overnight date with Aven, she was probably decently normal, because she probably thought that she was going to be letting Aven go at the final 3. So she probably just enjoyed her time with him. They probably slept together. She loved his company. They probably talked about the future, but I don't know if she hammered to him like, are you going to propose? Are you going to propose? I don't think she did that to him. And I think that if any sort of talk about the proposal was probably in the same terms that he talked about it, and that being like, yes, I see you in my future. Yes, I want to be with you. Yes, like, that's what I see for us. But maybe she didn't question him about the timing because she didn't expect him to be there. But she got blindsided by Zach not wanting to continue on with her. So at that rose ceremony, I think she was planning on getting rid of Aven, and now she's keeping Aven, and now she's going to have to be introducing Aven to her family. And so she didn't really have that hammering kind of conversation that she had with Zach with Aven, because she didn't expect for him to be there. And so then she has to kind of go and be like, this is Avon, and he probably has been saying all the wonderful things, but they didn't have that whole like, are you going to propose? 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 Type conversation that it seems like she has in the fantasy suite. Terrible fantasy. And I think that is why she's blindsided by him, like not necessarily being able to get there into blindsided. I'm like, no. So that's my take on why I think she was hoping that by her being like, he's amazing, was also going to convince him to say the right thing and do the proposal thing. But I don't think they ever actually had that conversation, like in the depth like she had with the other two men who she believed would be in her final two.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking, because
yeah, you're probably right, because I was just like, what?
Mm-hmm. So when she was doing the rose ceremony, though, like you see Zach in the car crying, and like Rachel's just doing the rose ceremony. He's so upset. Anyways, so we see Zach joining Rachel on the main stage, and he's like, so good. It's just so good to see your face. It's so good. And he was quite kind and quite sweet. I think he gave her a lot more grace than I think that she really deserved.
I agree.
And like, I think I'm just going to be harping on Rachel this whole episode, unfortunately. But like, just how she even like sits and pays attention to him. She's just like, wants him to say all these nice things. She doesn't really hear these men. She doesn't really listen to them. She's only looking, it seems like she's only looking out for the words that make her look a certain way. And it seems to me disingenuous. I don't think she cares for many of these men, really. I think she cares for the status that it brings them.
Yeah.
And him like apologizing in a way that she sees fit, because I think she's ready to pounce. She's ready to attack and say, like, you did this. Like, she's waiting. She's like waiting.
But they took the fight from her. They both were like,
they
very
both apologized to each other.
Yeah.
I mean, he was very nice, very kind. She accepted his apology. I wish that she just said, like, you know what? I really wanted to have an engagement with you, and I'm sorry if how I was relaying that information kind of changed our relationship, but it really never changed the way I felt about you. Like, say something like that, please.
She can't. She's too wrapped up in her. I mean, I'm not trying to be, but Pisces just have a way of just drawing up this whole script in their head of how things are going to go, and when they don't go that way, they get upset. They get upset.
Matthew's a Pisces, though. So Matthew, are you going to come for Miss TJoy?
Don't come for me, Matthew. But I mean, this has just been my experience, and I mean, some of my friends that are Pisces, they agree with me. They know that they do it. You know what I mean? Like, so it's not. There are things about everybody's sign that we're just kind of like, yeah, this is how we are. This is what we do.
Mm-hmm. Matthew says, Jesse, the only question left is how will this end? Tune in next week, sir. There is literally only one man left for each Bachelorette. You're really making us wait a week.
Exactly, Matthew. Exactly, Matthew. He's like, Will Pisces. Oh no, they are cool. No, they are cool. Absolutely. I'm just saying, I think sometimes they get in their head about how things are supposed to be before they happen. Yeah.
This might be a female Pisces as well.
Yes, that might
be a little bit, because like Claire is like this as well. Very much so.
Yeah.
Will
two women be engaged? Will one woman be engaged? You'll have to find out as Gabby and Rachel join me. I mean, why couldn't you just wait for the last episode for them to come? Why do they have to come both weeks? It's stupid. She has Dancing with the Stars on Monday of next week, and then she got to come be there with y'all on Tuesday.
They've already filmed it. At least.
Oh, okay.
That's my assumption. It's not like it's. I think live reaction, but but it's recorded.
Oh,
That's what I
and
think.
none of those people are revealing anything. That's good. I
Oh,
wish,
that's true.
I wish they would just reveal it so I could just.
So the episode of Rachel begins. Rachel's parents are there, or like her dad, her parents, and her two best friends. And it's gonna be Avon today and Tito's tomorrow. And she comes in and she's so happy. And that red dress, like whenever she was in her confessionals, we don't have a Chili's in Canada, but she looked like she was in a Chili's commercial.
We
Right?
have
Like,
we have a Chili's here.
but like in the commercials where they like, I feel like I've seen them wear. They usually wear like a red polo. I think maybe I don't, or
Yeah,
maybe I'm
they
making
do.
it up.
No,
But
they do.
I just felt I'm like, are you in a Chili's commercial? Like when it was the whole dress, like it made sense. But this like just seeing her like from the waist up, I was like, Chili's employee. Not. I don't know who her stylist is here, but she must have got the same stylist as Katie because like I'm not
Katie's
enjoying all her
wardrobe was awful. I'm sorry. No, Katie's wardrobe was awful.
I know. But Rachel's parents are loving the way she's looking, talking about Avon, how she's lighting up, and I think she's trying to convince herself that he is the guy or one of the guys, even though he wouldn't have been who she was bringing home if Zach hadn't have approached her.
Right.
I wonder if it's because he's mixed background, like if she wasn't expecting to bring home somebody of color. I don't know. But she seemed to be compensating a lot by how much we have never seen her this into Avon.
Exactly.
So I was like, oh, okay, like you're really trying to convince yourself and all of us and your parents
Right.
that you like this man. All right, let's see what's happened. And so she's like, yeah, he told me that he's falling in love with me. Like, yeah, because he probably forced him to. And her dad. Well, so yeah, her dad is really happy with how she's appearing to be. She seems to be happy, seems to be in love, seems to be liking this person. And he enjoys how she's describing him. So this seems to be going to go well. And I'm like, okay, well, let's see what happens. I'm like,
Right.
I was like, maybe she really did like Avon and was going to pick Avon all along. But now that I analyze it, I don't think she was.
Right.
So Avon and her walk in, and he has flowers for the mom, shakes the hand and hugs the mom, and gives what's his name,
Big
Tony, Big Tony,
Big Tony,
Big Tony, a cigar, which I was like, that's nice.
Yeah.
The dads don't usually get something from the males, the men, the partners. So I thought that was a nice touch. I thought that Avon was really cute. I was like,
super cute.
He's so cute. And I was like, oh, you poor thing. You're about to go into like the lion's den here. Sweet, sweet, sweet Avon. So Big Tony and Avon have a chat, and he's like, well, there's going to be another guy that's going to be sitting here tomorrow. Like, what do you, like, how do you stand out? And I'm like, this is a decent question. And he didn't tear Tino down at all. Like, he just like answered it, being like, I really enjoy your daughter. Like, I think she's beautiful, the most beautiful girl for me. Like, he said all the right things. So I thought that he charmed Big Tony.
Oh yeah, he charmed all of them.
Mm-hmm. Putting you in the hot seat. Tony loves putting them in the hot seat. I think Tony's a big softie.
He definitely is, especially for his daughter.
Yeah, I would not be scared of Big Tony. Like, would you?
Reminds me of my dad. The guys are intimidated by him, but he's such a softie.
Big Tony. So first impression is, oh, I like him. What am I talking about? I have no doubts in him. Oh, this is Rachel. I like him. I have no doubts in him. And it's like, And they're also commenting like, that she's so happy. She says that he received her first impression rose. Wait, no, that's Tito.
Yeah, Tina received her first impression rose. No, she was just saying that she likes Avon. They have a good connection, and that she had a good time with his family, and that she feels like they're on the same page, and he's
And
made it
she
very clear.
knows that he is going to get down on one knee for her.
Mm-hmm,
She knows. She knows.
and then the friends have to tell her, well, about that.
Yeah. Well, she does. So Avon does talk to the friends, and the friends, are doing Rachel's bidding here, being like, "Hey, like this is what she wants. Like, are you ready for this?" But I thought that he answered properly, right? Like
He did. And the friends had no problem. They just knew they had no problem with him and his answer, especially the girl best friend. They had no problem. She was like, I understand it. It was that they knew that Rachel was going to have a problem with it. They still liked him. Like, oh, I think he's great. He's supportive. He's somebody you look to when something bad goes on in your life, and all of these things. So they still liked him, but they just knew that when they told her this, that she was gonna act up. That's all.
and they ask him like, do you think you have time to get there? And he says, I want to be with her at the end. I want to be with her, but I'm not sure in 2 days if I can get there. But I want to propose to her. I want to be with her. I want to have a future with her. I just don't see that in 2 days. And that should be fine. That should be fine. That should be the guy's test on the women. Like being like, are you willing to have me without the ring? Because if you're not willing to have me without the ring, I don't want to give you the ring. And then that should be like the reverse test. And then she says, I want you no matter what, because I need you in my life. We could do this on our own time. Like, I don't want you to feel pressured to be doing this because of the show. I want you to do it because you love me and that's the timing that it is. I bet you most of these damn men would be like, pressure's off. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. So we see Tony and Rachel talking, and she's like, I'm going to be engaged in 5 days. And he loves seeing his daughter like this, so happy.
Uh-huh.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Anyways, so we see Rachel talking to her friends, and like obviously how all the like the blood draining from her face as soon as, and like her friend, the girl, was just like, no, but like he was so.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Where did Chantele go? Uh-oh. Well, we are waiting for Chantele to come back. But the girl was trying to tell her, like, listen, he really, really still wants to be with you. He needs to be with you. He's going to pick you at the end. It's just that in 2 days, he doesn't know if he can get there to propose to you. But he absolutely wants to be with you. So, you know, Rachel, though, however, all she hears is he's not going to propose. And like Chantele said, all the blood is rushing away from her body, and she is not happy, not at all. And she's like, but he told me he was going to be there. We've had these discussions, and he told me that he really wants to be with me. And so I'm very confused because I thought we were on the same page, and now it seems like we're not on the same page, and I don't know what to do about that. So, she was kind of upset about that. Avon comes back, unbeknownst to him. I'll be back.
Go ahead, keep talking. I'll catch up.
I was like, Avon comes back, unbeknownst to him, all happy, like he has had a great visit, great time. And he says his goodbye. She walks him out. They sit on the bench. And then she's like, and he's like, yeah, that was good, right? He was like, and she's like, yeah, but we need to talk. He's like, is something bothering you? She's like, Yeah, because I thought we were on the same page, and I asked you if you were ready to propose, and you said yes, and then they're telling me that you're saying you don't know if you want to get there yet. And then
In
he's like,
2 days. He kept on being like, I'm ready to propose. I'm at a point in my life where a
yes,
proposal, like getting married, is something that I see in my life right now. I don't see a proposal in 2 days, but I do see a
exactly,
proposal. Like,
exactly. I
come
only
on.
want to be with you. I only want to be with you. I
So
see
brutal.
you in my future. I only want to be with you. It is with you. Girl,
She
she
can
did
say it
not
a
care.
million times and she does not hear it. And one thing she did say in her confessional was, I appreciate your honesty, but why are you lying to me? Is what she's saying. Is my video off for you as well, or is it just on my side? Things are being weird.
Yours is off too. It's like a delay.
It is a delay. Hopefully it'll catch up, but sorry guys, I don't know what's happening here. So, Avon and Rachel, they're kind of arguing. And I also got annoyed when she's like, don't raise your voice to me. I was like, did he?
No, he did not. He was just trying to be firm with her. Like, I'm irritated that you keep saying something that I'm not saying. Just because you're not hearing that I want to propose in 2 days, you keep trying to make it seem like I'm not trying to propose. And so stop saying that. It's like you get aggravated when you're being very clear and somebody is determined to misunderstand you. So he was just trying to be firm. Like,
And then at the
no.
end, when they're trying to say goodbye to each other, he's like, I need you to know that I want to be with you before I walk away. And she's like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I'm just like, Rachel, like, you're ruining this relationship. Like, if I was him, I'd be like, okay, good, that's over. I don't have to propose to her ever. Like, I'd be like, yes, I win here.
But he
I
really
win
liked her. He really
because
liked her, though.
I know. I mean, I think that they work better than her and Tino, obviously. Like, side-wise, I think absolutely. I think connection-wise, I feel so, but I think that she loves the mystery and it seems the aloofness of Tino, the Aquariusness, but it's not going to work out because he's not going to be able to deal with her emotional self for much longer. I don't think. Will you click already? Click. Or not. Okay, can you still hear me or no? Because like everything's being very strange. Dabu says Rachel is acting as if Avon is the same as Johnny and Jason. He still wants you. Mm-hmm. He doesn't want to break up. And like,
Johnny and Jason were with Gabby, though, right?
I know, but I'm sure she got the tea.
Okay.
Like she's like, or like that she's thinking that the way that he's being is like Johnny and Jason, right? Like similar. Like, but the way that they were acting that was completely different than Avon, is what Dabu's saying.
Right.
Not necessarily that she knows what was going on with them, but like she's holding Avon to a standard as if he was acting the way Johnny and Jason was acting, which he hasn't been, in my opinion. So we see Gabby with her family, and Grandpa John knows Eric, and he's I don't know what did he say. He's a dick. What did he say, Grandpa John?
I don't know. They bleeped it out. I couldn't tell.
She brings in Eric, and he meets all the family, which was pretty sweet. And watching her with Grandpa John was really sweet. And he says that it has to be 90-90, not 50-50. What do you think about that as a statement?
Okay. I was like 90-90, not 100-100, or it's like not 50-50, but not 100-100. It got to be 90-90. I don't know. I was like, but I got what he was saying. So I was like, okay.
This is true, Dabu. So Rachel wants to be proposed to, but she doesn't specify if it's with Avon or Tino. That's a disconnect. Yeah, it's like from anybody. I need to be proposed by anybody.
Right. She just wants the proposal.
It's kind of like some of those women who, yes, I understand biological clocks may be ticking, but like they want to be pregnant and they don't care about who is with. Who is with? Oh, anybody. Yeah, give it. I always want to be pregnant. It's like, ugh. I don't know if I want to
Right.
enter in that kind of relationship. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if it's not with me, it's just with the ring or with the status symbol. Um, and so I love how much Grandpa John loves Gabby and his beautiful granddaughter, and he wants the best for her. And I think that she does have a really, I think, sweet family, even though she didn't have the love from them, her mom, that she seems to be missing. I think that her rest of her family is really a really kind and close group.
Mm-hmm.
So Eric and the dad and stepmom dad are talking. And he says he doesn't imagine his life without her, which I think is that's good. You want to hear that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do. You do. Absolutely.
That's good.
Absolutely.
Okay, check Eric. So Gabby's talking to her parents, and she does get emotional thinking about Eric and how much she feels his love from him. And I'm like, that should be enough. And you know what?
It's not.
Like,
It's not. It's not enough.
like the show is going to take care of itself, right? Like if both of them, I think, just took the foot off off the gas of like pushing this engagement, just enjoy being introducing this person with your family and
Uh-huh.
just like being in love and all that stuff. And then when the producers start coming to you and being like, okay, let's go pick out a ring and stuff like that, make them have to deal with all of that stuff on their own instead of like you pressuring them. Because they may feel more pressure by the producers and they might give you that proposal. I think they just need to take their foot off the gas.
I agree.
Ah, Gabby. Gabby's another one. So her aunt is comforting her and she's really like sad that she has had the experience of her mom. And she's like, I'm sorry that you've had to experience that. But
Right.
she tells Gabby, which I think is a very good point, is that you have to let him see you be vulnerable, let you see him see you in these moments, allow him to take care of you. And I think that that's a really important lesson with like masculine and feminine dynamics, is that sometimes you have to remove a little bit of that masculine exterior that allows us to get around in the world, work jobs, like be independent, all that stuff, and in partnership be a little bit more vulnerable to allow somebody else to kind of take some of that burden off of you. And so I thought it was good advice personally.
Yes.
Good advice. So who said, I think probably Jesse said it, Grandpa John for Bachelor? Agree or disagree?
You said what?
Grandpa John for Bachelor?
No.
I mean, they were considering doing one of those Bachelor, like older year bachelors, weren't they?
I
Or
don't
some
know.
sort of
But
show. Like
need to
when they did what was that, the singing love show called?
Huh?
The singing love show, like The Bachelor did, where they were musicians and they're finding love and they're making music together.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So at that same time, they advertised like an older year love dating show. Anyways, it never went to air. Dabu says she isn't willing to reciprocate Avon's feelings and commitment. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's also like this. That's another thing too that pisses me off. It's like she knows she's not picking the damn man, but she needs the guy to propose. Like screw you. Like it's his proposal as well. It's his
Exactly.
maybe first time he wants to only propose to somebody. So
Exactly.
like maybe he's sensing that it ain't you because you ain't choosing him.
Exactly.
So Rachel is bringing in Tino now to meet her family, and she's already like nervous about it because it went so poorly with Avon, which it didn't. It didn't go poorly with Avon.
No, it did not. It went well. It's just that you didn't get the one answer you wanted. So.
And then we hear her say, like, she's just like wondering what's going to go wrong. And it's like, if you're going to go in with that attitude, you'll find something to go wrong for sure. And
he was so nervous. He was sweating. Well, it's also hot in Mexico, but I'm just saying he was super nervous.
It was really awkward. It really was awkward. She tells her family, like, Tina's family doesn't like me. It's like, oh gosh. Oh my god. So I wrote, oh my god, Tino is so nervous. So nervous. What did I say? they are making this date. Oh, this date back. Like I feel as though she could just have like a really nice time introducing these people to her family. And the show seems to be making this interaction be worse than it actually was. Like, kind of like how they made it seem like Nate's date or hometown was like awful with
Yeah.
Michelle when it actually wasn't at all. Like, all the sound bites. Like, I felt that they were trying to make this seem worse than it was by
Mhm.
the clips they're showing of Tino being nervous and not really being able to articulate himself, and like, you know, the glances, like if they just made it seem more awkward, him more nervous, the date not going as smoothly at all. And I think it just was a red herring, personally.
Yeah.
So Tino and the dad talked, and he basically just lays it right out there, like, so what happened on Hometowns? Huh?
Right. Big Tony don't play. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it. And he does say, though, and I think that this is what I would want to hear if I was a father, I want to make your daughter the happiest woman ever. And
Yeah.
that's something I want to, like, spend your life making my daughter happy. That's good.
Yeah, it is good.
Pretty good. We do learn that everyone loved Tino at the house. Did they?
Uh-huh.
Do you think?
I mean, it doesn't seem like they did, but they all say they did. And so, you know, we just gonna go with that.
Gonna go with that. So we are back with Jesse in the studio. Rachel and Avon do have an awkward conversation. She's crying, and she's saying that she felt so blindsided. And he says, and I was like, Avon, shh. He says, I may have gotten caught up. I was like, oh my God. Gotta pick your words wisely with this woman, because she's gonna only hear caught up.
Focus on that word. Yep. And that was that.
Only focus on caught up. And he did get caught up. He got caught up in the wanting to be engaged and the show and the lights, and he
got caught up in thinking that he had to do it in that time. But when he pulled himself back and he really started thinking and shutting everything out, he realized, no, you don't have to propose in 2 days. You just have to be sure about how you feel about her. So he got caught up in the timing. He didn't get caught up in his feelings. He didn't get caught up in the fact that he wants to propose to you. He just got caught up in your timeline, because you and the producers are pushing it down his throat, and he was caught up for a minute. But now he's taking his taking the wheel again, like, no, I'm in charge and I don't have to do that.
So I don't know why I wrote back to Jesse in the studio. If I didn't write, so that whole scene with Rachel and Avon was like another like meeting that they met up again to talk more about this again. Like,
yeah, she went to go see him at his room. Yeah,
like,
because she went to break up with him.
I know.
Break up with him. She knew what she was gonna do. She went to go break up with him. She was trying to make it seem like she was gonna talk, but she knew when she went to talk to him, he wasn't gonna say nothing different. So she really went to break up with him.
Like, she's wouldn't be the person that I would want to be dating. Like,
and he was hurt by it. He was
absolutely like, I want to be engaged. It's over. Like, okay. Well, that means that you didn't care about the love and the relationship that we were building together, the times that we shared. All doesn't mean anything, because I'm not ready to get married on you're engaged on your timeline. It's just terrible.
And when they met, when he came in the studio, when they were talking, I think she was just determined to try not to cry tonight, because I think she'd been reading all the people comments on the internet about how much she cries. Because in any other scenario, she would have been crying, but I think she was just determined last night, I'm not going to cry, because they say all I do is cry. And he was talking to her, and he was like, again, being very, like Zach, being very apologetic, being very nice and kind to her, taking all accountability for where they were at or whatever. And she was just like, it's okay. It was just like, we both, we just wanted different things, and, whatever. So now it's okay. And you want different things. But back then you were acting like it was the end of the world, and he was like lying to you. and all of these things. So I just was like, I'm over her. I'm just over the whole thing. I'm over it.
So Dabu wants to know if we saw how much Rachel was smiling watching back Tino's Meet the Parents. I actually think that they are still together. I didn't notice just because, like, this last bit, I fell asleep once, and then I was like, oh.
I think she was smiling. I mean, giggling, but I thought that was because Gabby had whispered something to her, and they both were like laughing a little bit. Like I think Gabby was just like, "Oh, he's so nervous," trying to. But I think she did that because she could see just how Rachel was, and she was kind of trying to lighten the mood and have Rachel to laugh. I didn't necessarily. I don't even care if they still together. To be honest, Deborah, I really don't even.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
I'm so over this. If that's who he want to be with, and she want to be with him, go ahead. But
Dabu says, funny how everyone apologized to Rachel, but when Clayton was in the hot seat, she pounced. Interesting.
That's because the men are non-problematic men. Really, she tried to make it seem like everybody was problematic, but really it was her. She really had non-problematic men. Like nobody was really doing anything to her. Mm-hmm. Gabby had the people who were being rude, saying rude things, but Rachel really did not have problematic men the whole time. It's just that she wasn't getting her way, so she was crying the whole time. Mm-hmm. And upon reflection, because they're both gentlemen, they just didn't even want to smoke, and they didn't want any drama, so they're just like, I'm going to just go and take all accountability and apologize. We're going to be on live TV. Don't nobody have time for this. Just apologize and keep it moving. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! Imagine if they said what they really felt.
I know.
That would be good. That would be the most shocking like finale episode ever. So Jesse's annoying me. Like
so annoying. That was so annoying.
So
Stop saying shocking.
That was so heartbreaking.
Like just,
that breakup was not heartbreaking to me.
He's so annoying. The whole thing is annoying.
So Ava was backstage. He comes out. I'm extremely sorry about the way that it ended. I feel like I let you down. And I'm like, Avon doesn't need to apologize to this woman. It's what I wrote down. He does not, but he did. He's kind. He's sweet. Avon for Bachelor. I'd way rather see an Avon Bachelor than whatever his name is. Ben.
I'm not watching it.
And then they want to piss me off some more. Special permission to go overtime? What is happening?
It was already on the TV for it to go to 10:15. It was not no special time. It was already on program. What are you talking about?
We got special permission from ABC to go into the next programming, and we'll return to regular scheduled programming after, because we need to get to this. Like, get out of here. We don't need any of this.
Why did you have to say that? Why did you have to say that? It was just so unnecessary. They just try to make this be something that it's not. Mm-hmm. Just like Rachel.
So we have Gabby's final date with Eric, and he says the kiss of death phrase is, I don't want to rush anything. I want it to be special to us.
I want to date you.
I want to date you. Oh, yeah, that's the next one. And yeah, I was like, uh-oh, I want to date you in the real world. Oh no. And I do want a proposal. Uh-oh. And so she leaves crying. I don't want to be forcing anybody, she's saying. And she's crying and she's walking away. And she's like, what am I supposed to do? Walk away because she isn't ready to propose. That is the question. That is the $1 million question here, Gabby. Are you going to walk away from this man that you said that loves you more than anybody's ever loved you before, that makes you feel so special, makes you feel so safe, that you have this connection with, that you laugh with, that you're willing to be vulnerable in front of, but he's not ready to propose for you in 2 days? Are you willing to walk away from it? It's a good question. We'll find out next week. We have an extra 20 minutes and we couldn't find out tonight, huh? Like, and it's not suspense. I just want it to be over. Like,
Exactly.
it's not a cliffhanger. I just want it to be over.
I just want it to be over too.
Anyways, I think that's the episode. Is there anything else that you want to talk about here?
No. I wanted it to be a really good Bachelor, but you know what? Maybe it's good that it's going to be Ben. Then maybe I could just take a break. Maybe
I don't think I'm not going to cover Ben. I don't think.
I just need a break from the whole thing. Maybe that's it. Like I just need a break because this right here, nope.
Mm-mm. If it's Avon, I will cover it.
Yeah.
If it's Justin, who's another rumored person, 100% will cover it. Justin's so cute. You remember Justin, right?
Justin, who is Justin?
He's the painter from Katie's season, half black.
Oh, he was cute.
He's so cute.
He was really cute.
So, and then would probably see like Andrew and even Greg maybe like being his buds that like give him advice and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I think that
him and Greg were really close. Yeah. And I liked Greg. I think that was Katie, but anyway.
Mm-hmm. I think
Katie, that would be nice. I would like that too.
So if it's Avon or Justin, I will cover. If it's Ben, I'll watch, but I won't cover. Maybe I'll do mini TikToks about it or something, but I don't want to. I don't want to invest in the whole season. I have to watch just to like know what's going on socially, like. But it'll be a hate watch for sure. Well, that's pretty much it, everyone. Thank you for being here in the chat with all of your insight and being on the same page as with our frustrations with Rachel and with Gabby as well a little bit. I think that Gabby might come around and just realize that like maybe needing the engagement is a form of self-sabotage,
Right.
Because maybe her not needing it would allow him to feel less pressure around it and maybe feel like he's doing it on his own time. But I just think she'll come around. I do think that they're probably still together. I hope that, like you said, that they get engaged over their time apart and so they can have that announcement when they come next week. Yeah. That would be really nice. I'm not really interested in seeing whatever this behind the scenes thing that is happening with Rachel yelling at Tino. Like, she's holding up a book. What do we think happened there?
No, he says he had it written down. I thought he was holding the book.
Whomever was holding the book, but
he was like, and she was like, "You're lying," and he was like, "I have it right here." I don't know. Somebody must be taking notes or something about things that's going on. I don't know.
But what did he write down?
I don't know. He was like, "I have it right here." I don't know. Maybe he was keeping an account of
everything that you promised me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, maybe they were keeping an account of something. Like somebody was writing stuff down, but I felt like it's crazy. I felt like it was crazy. No.
Dabu says the finale part 2 is 3 hours. How could they possibly fill that time?
ABC is out of control. They are out of control.
Dabu says, isn't Justin on Bachelor in Paradise? I don't actually know, but I heard that he was rumored to be the next Bachelor, but maybe Clayton was
3 hours? No. After 3 hours?
I mean, it's going to be
maybe one of those
2 hours and then after the final rose, right?
Or maybe some of that time is talking about the new Bachelor, because I think they're going to announce the new Bachelor.
Maybe.
So it's going to be from 8 to 11. 8 to 11. Oh, my God.
Okay, well, brace yourselves, everyone. We will definitely be back next week. I'm not sure which day we'll do. But like, is it? I don't know. It depends on what day.
It comes on Tuesday because Dance with the Stars comes on Monday.
Oh, right. So let's do Wednesday. If we do it this time on Wednesday again, it works for me. We'll let you know, obviously, if anything changes. Thank you, Miss TJoy, for grinning
You're
and
welcome.
bearing the season with me. I appreciate
You're
you.
welcome.
And everybody in our chat for also being along for the ride, because we do it for you guys. Because
Yes.
like, if it wasn't for you, it would be like,
I'm done.
bye. We are done here. So thank you so much for joining us and being here. And leave a comment and let us know, what do you think will be happening in this 3-hour part 2 of a finale next week? What do you think is going to happen? Let's hear your predictions. No spoilers, but predictions as to what we will see in these 3 hours. I don't get it. I don't get it. Other than that, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We love building this community of people. Like this video, please. Likes are really important with YouTube. It gets us in front of other people that enjoy this kind of content. And as I mentioned before, please leave a comment as to what you think they're going to do to fill these 3 hours next week. Ciao, everybody. Bye. Thank you. 3 hours. So